Stages Houston is always putting on amazing performances, and Das Barbecue is no different. This comedy is going to have you stomping your feet, slapping your knees, and laughing out loud. It reimagines Wagner's epic music drama, The Ring Cycle, as a hilarious Texas hootenanny. By the way, I've always wanted to say hootenanny out loud. Say it with me, hootenanny. Das Barbecue is playing now through June 1st, so get your tickets and watch 5 incredible actors transformed into over 30 outrageous characters. Hold on to your hats, y'all, and get your tickets at stageshouston.com today. Want to make a real difference in just 1 hour? Join the Harris County chapter of Gals Who Give on May 13th for their quarterly event from 7 to 8 p.m. at 249 West 19th Street in Houston. This is really cool. All you have to do is bring a blank $100 check, nominate a local nonprofit, then 3 charities are randomly selected to present, and 1 will walk away with the full pot. And you'll get a tax receipt. Join them and make a real change. Learn more at galswhogive.org and click on the Harris County chapter in the upper right. Today on CityCast Houston, the average Houstonian spends almost 2 days in rush hour traffic. And with that much time spent driving, we've all become experts of navigating the Houston roads and picked up some important unwritten Houston rules for the road. And after today's conversation, executive producer Laura Isensee will be joining us for a conversation sponsored by Stages Houston about their latest production, Lessons Learned. Stick around. It's Thursday, May 8th. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Okay, I've got executive producer Laura Isensee with me. She is one of the more like balanced drivers, in my opinion.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You haven't been in the car with me, Raheel.
That's true.
I don't know.
But like from your stories, I think you're a balanced driver. You're not aggressive.
Okay.
I'm going to be the aggressive driver.
Okay.
I'm just going to be upfront.
Okay.
I also have Hey Houston newsletter editor Brooke Lewis, and I'm going to say she's the most calm driver based on stories that I've heard. Is that fair?
I think that's fair, but I do have my moments where I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta zoom past these cars.
That's totally fair. So Laura, give me your first unwritten rule because I want to get this out right now. What is it?
Okay, this one is very simple, and it basically happened to us this morning on the way to tape this conversation in person. And that is, when it's raining, just stay home. Don't get in the car. Or if you have to go someplace and it's not flooding, that's like a whole nother rule. We'll get to that later. If you do have to drive in the rain, just give yourself an extra 15 minutes because almost every Houstonian forgets how to drive in the rain. So it's just slow. There are accidents. Like, just don't stress yourself out. Extra 15 minutes. Minimum.
It's so funny you mentioned that. So I posed that question, what is your unwritten rule for driving in Houston on Twitter? And one person responded, @HurtFlirt says, if it's raining, just stay home or go drink at a bar. Like that's it. Don't even attempt to drive. And it's so true. We forget how to drive when it just gets a little wet on the road.
What is it? It's not even raining that hard. And we're just like barely moving, or people don't know how to get over. Like, I don't know what it is.
I'm guilty. I do it. I slow down more in the rain. You just have to be cautious.
People are just like inching by. I don't even feel like I'm a fast driver, but it's just like people are like, it's lightly raining.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like people driving slow. It's just like they literally forget how to drive in the rain, which you wouldn't think is a thing because like we get plenty of rain in Houston.
Yeah.
So you would think you would just adapt a little bit. But no, people just forget how to drive. And like, I think that's actually the problem is that they don't adjust and drive slow or take the roadway into account and the conditions. And so then they just try to drive like normal, which is very aggressive and cutting people off. And then that's where it gets to be a problem.
Yeah. Brooke, what's your first unwritten rule?
So when you're at an intersection and your light turns green, wait a few seconds.
Yes.
Do not go. Green light does not mean go in Houston. Just wait because someone is running the light and you could get hit. And so I learned that early on. I've seen crazy accidents and intersections. So just wait, give it a few seconds. Someone's going to honk at you. Don't worry. They let them cut in front of you and maybe they might actually get hit. Right. I've seen that. It's
so funny when getting feedback from listeners, that was the number one thing every single person said as their unwritten rule. In fact, Erica Chang, who is a contributor to the show, food writer for Cron.com, she said, to avoid being T-boned by a red light runner, wait a beat before going on green. And then Susan Kate, another listener, said, what I call the first two are free rule. And what she means by that is the first two cars get to run the red light and then you go. It's like you just have to wait. It is so true. And I learned about this rule. Unfortunately, like my wife got hit and T-boned because somebody broke a red light. And when I was in LA for a work trip, I was borrowing my buddy's car and he goes, hey, we have this very important rule here. And it's that when it turns red, you don't go immediately if your signal turns green. You wait.
Yeah.
Give it like 5 seconds because everyone's going to break a red light.
Yes. It's crazy that everyone knows that, but then people are still breaking that rule. Mm-hmm. People are still going and then people get hit. It's a mess.
I think it's because we have so many people who are in Houston now who are like from other places, like, you know, California or other parts of Texas. And then they get to Houston and so many people moving here are like, oh my gosh, the freeways. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, the people running the red lights. And it's great that you brought up Los Angeles, Raheel. Like I lived in Los Angeles for a hot minute many years ago, but I feel like driving in Los Angeles prepared me to drive in Houston because there's a lot of parallels, but they're even more aggressive in Los Angeles. So
they're more aggressive in LA.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes.
How so? Like what is it?
I mean, there's just so much traffic. You just have to be aggressive. Yeah. Otherwise, you will never get to where you're going.
Yeah.
And there's just, you just have to be like, I'm taking up this space and I am going. And I mean, still like some respect, but you just gotta like.
Anytime I go to Chicago to visit my cousins and friends, like when we drive around, they're always like, we're notorious for being aggressive drivers and bad drivers. Chicago drivers are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, compared to Houston, y'all are not. I don't know if it's changing. They honk a little bit more, like just like, hey, don't wait at a green or red, whatever. They just honk. Yeah. But they aren't aggressive in the sense that we are. Like we cut off people way too much here.
Yeah. And I like people that I know that moved to Houston, they always say like the scariest moments of their lives are on our freeways. Yeah. Like they're on the freeway and they're just like, I've never been more scared because people are just like driving at 75 miles per hour, like over the speed limit. They're cutting people off. They're zooming in front of you. It takes like, I don't even know what your adjustment time is when you move here, but I think it takes like a year.
Okay, that your friend might be talking about me, unfortunately, because I'm a pretty safe driver. All right, like I'm very cautious, especially with kids. I think that changes a lot, like how you drive. But when I'm on the freeway, I'm going 80. All right, like I'm being honest. And the one thing that I think is a very important unwritten rule, and it's almost, I think it's like an actual legal law, is if you're going 15 below in the left lane, that is dangerous. Don't do that. Like that is such an unwritten rule. Get out of the left lane. Let the fast cars go.
So this is your first unwritten rule.
Yeah, that is my first one. I think it's the most important one because if you're in the left lane on your phone or just in general driving slow, you are going to, one, slow down the flow of traffic. Two, it's dangerous because cars are going 80 miles per hour. Like that is I know the speed limit says 65. Houstonians are going 80. That's just how it is, okay? But be safe. Like I'm never on my phone. I like put my phone away.
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
You're like, be safe, but I'm going 20 miles over the speed limit.
Everyone else is like, you cannot be going. Who goes the speed limit on the freeway? Be honest.
Okay, well, this is I have to agree with you on the left lane rule. Like if you're not going to go fast, like get out of there. And I actually like, if I'm doing a long drive, like driving out to the suburbs or like driving to San Antonio or Austin, like I'm actually not in that left lane very often because I am a little bit closer. I'm not going 80. I'm not going 80. And so like, I know I'm going to really annoy people. So I move out. I go in and I move out. But this is kind of related to my other unwritten rule, which is, I'm not talking about the left lane. I'm talking about all lanes. If you're going to get on the freeway in Houston, you have to at least go the speed limit. Like, don't get on the freeway and go 50 miles an hour. Like, don't get on the freeway and go 45 miles an hour or even 55. Like, you have to go with the speed of traffic. And like, I'm sorry if you're having car issues and your car can't go fast, just don't get on. Stay on the feeders, go to the thoroughfares, like go to Westheimer, go to Memorial. Like, just if you're gonna go slow, just don't get on the freeway, please.
You know, sometimes you don't have a choice, because I remember I drove a Ford Taurus, a 2006 Taurus, for years when I used to work at the Houston Chronicle, and I would drive from my parents' house on the west side into the Chronicle, and I would need to go on the freeway, and my car, when it would accelerate, it would make that little rickety sound. And so I would be the one driving on 610, like, and all these people would be tailgating me because I could not get, to 80 or 90 or whatever Raheel is
or
going.
65.
Yes, he's going to get to 65.
I could get to 65, but it was just, guys, I was pushing my car. I was pushing it. So I get it. I'm like, be mindful of the people whose cars may be having issues, but I get it. I'm like, if you're on the freeway, just, you got to go at least the speed limit or higher.
Like with the speed of traffic. But as a former Taurus driver, I once upon a time also had a Taurus. Like, I know they don't have the same pick up and go, but it's really for your safety as well as everybody else's, because it's just like, you just like get on that freeway and it's like a river. Like, you just got to like keep flowing and swimming with everyone.
Yes.
So true. What's your next one, Brooke?
Okay, I think it kind of flows into what I was saying about 610. My unwritten rule is that you just need to avoid 610 at all costs near the Galleria. The part at the Galleria. Avoid it. Just avoid it, especially during rush hour, because you just know that when you get on, it's a parking lot.
You're not
going to
terrible.
And there's always like random construction. I feel like construction has been going on in that area for years.
Yeah, she's still working on herself.
It's like she's never going to fully improve. She's never going to fully improve. I just feel like there's just don't get on. Just don't get on.
Well, it literally is the most congested freeway in the state. Like, that stretch between 59 and I-10 on 610, last I checked, is the most congested freeway in the entire state. So yes, and it doesn't even matter if it's rush hour or not.
No, it doesn't.
Any time of day. It can be 7 a.m., 7 p.m., weekends, like weekend nights, it is packed. I'm like, where are these people going?
We don't know. We don't know.
And what's so funny is, growing up, my parents used to take like Westheimer, all the side streets, because they hated the freeway. And so when I finally got my driver's license and I was out of the house, I was like, I'm taking the freeway wherever I go. And I was on 610. And I was like, I'm starting to understand why they took Westheimer.
It's the most stressful. You rather just deal with the signals on Westheimer and potholes as opposed to just sitting in that traffic and getting stressed out. And speaking of 59 and 610, here's another tweet from one of our listeners. Amir_61 says, if you cut in line at any point on the 59 and 610 exchange, you have to let the person behind you in as well to do the same thing, but only one person. So basically, if you're going to cut in, you got to let somebody else cut you as a karma point almost.
Yeah, it's good car karma. Like, let's just keep it going.
I play by that rule, and that was my next one, is that unwritten rule is that you're gonna cut, but you have to let people in. If you're gonna do it, you cut somebody else off and made them mad, let somebody else in and make them even more mad, because now two cars jumped the line.
Can I have an addendum to cutting someone off? When you cut someone off, don't make eye contact. That's my rule. I just don't make eye contact, because I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know if they're cursing me out. I don't know what sign they're giving me. I just don't want to know. So I cut it off. I cut them off, and then I just keep it moving.
Laura, unanimously, number one was by far like, hey, please, everyone be smart about this. And, hey, don't go immediately when the signal turns green. Number two was don't honk at anybody.
Oh, yeah. Do not
That's
honk.
like the number two unwritten rule by listeners was do not honk.
Do not.
Only time I honk is if someone is literally about to hit me, which sadly happened a few months ago.
Oh, no.
Yes.
And I honked and I was like, I'm right here. And then they rolled into me. Fender bender. I was on such a great streak of years without a fender bender and accident. And then, so that's my only exception to that rule. Like, if someone is literally about to hit you, you can honk.
You got it.
But other than that, if you're frustrated, annoyed, do not touch that.
I love how bad it is that we're literally like, for your own safety. You can't.
And I also want to talk about, once we get to a place, like parking unwritten rules in a second, but I've got one more here, because you mentioned, when you get into an accident, one of the worst things that's happened here is that there are a lot of drivers who are uninsured.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So my unwritten rule is, make sure on your car insurance, you have good uninsured driver coverage.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to.
That's I think my biggest pet peeve of driving in Houston is that there's so many drivers who don't have insurance. And on like the one hand, like the compassionate part of me, like, I get it. Like, car insurance is expensive. Mm-hmm. Maybe a lot of people can't afford it. And we live in this city where there's just not great public transportation. Mm-hmm. And maybe some people feel like they don't have a choice. But at the same time, like, I haven't been in that many accidents, but like a fair number of the accidents I have been since I got my driver's license, like at least half have been drivers without insurance. Yeah. And actually my mother-in-law, she just got hit by a driver. Not her fault at all, and they don't have insurance. Oh. And it's just like such a rigmarole. So that's a major pro tip. Yeah. Like, have solid insurance to cover uninsured drivers.
Make sure that deductible is like 500, not 1,000, because more than likely you will get hit and it's going to be an uninsured driver. And that's why I say, like, I also feel that compassion. I know it's hard. It's expensive. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be smart about it, and I'm going to eat the cost on this one and keep a low deductible because it's bound to happen, unfortunately.
H-Town really comes alive in spring, and especially in the heart of our city, downtown Houston. There's so much to do, so grab your crew and explore everything downtown Houston has to offer. From their vibrant parks to their sizzling food scene, and of course, those amazing free outdoor events all season long. Want to just gather the family and hang out like I enjoy doing? Downtown Houston has you covered. Head to Market Square Park or Trebley Park for kid-friendly games, movies under the stars, and so much more. To really be in the know, text downtown to 56512, where you'll find maps, the best parking spots, special events, and more. You can also find all of the fun and free events at downtownhouston.org. Spring is here, so come eat, play, and explore in downtown Houston. Get revived and energized in downtown. We're all looking for a perfect Mother's Day present, so let me tell you about the Aura frame. It was just named the best digital frame by Wirecutter, and I got one for my mom, and she's not that tech savvy, but it was a breeze for her to set up. The best part, once she was connected to the Aura app, all of my siblings and so many cousins all over the country, we started sharing photos with mom right away. Pictures of grandkids, memories from our childhood, and even one from my cousin's wedding where my mom and dad fell asleep during the ceremony. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping that off of Instagram. The picture and video quality is second to none, and Aura frames look good all around the house. Aura has a great deal right now for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code CityCast. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, any last ones? Any other unwritten rules?
Well, I have to add on to Brooke's 610, and then I have one more rule. But I just have to say on 610, like that traffic is so bad that I once had a job offer, and it was like this great job offer, but it was like west of the Galleria, and I was gonna have to go on 610 every single day, like there and back every single day, and I was like, no, I can't do this. No. Like I can't. It was one of the reasons why I had to turn down this like really great job, because I was like, I cannot live my life on 610.
Can't. It's impossible.
We're turning down jobs because of how bad 610 is. I mean, it's real.
It's real. It's like real. Quality of life.
Yeah.
But my last unwritten rule is, it kind of goes a little counter to our culture in Houston, because we are like this very welcoming city. I'd like to think like, a little bit of like Southern Texas hospitality. But when you're on the road, especially on the freeways, but really any street, don't expect people to use their blinker. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they're not going to
Yes,
tell
yes,
you.
yes,
They're not
yes,
telling you that they're
yes.
turning.
No.
They're not telling you that they're changing lanes.
No.
Like, you just have to be on the lookout. Like, are they going to move over? Are they going to turn? And I am guilty of it.
So
like,
bad.
Oh my
I've had
God.
to like retrain myself. Like, oh right, I'm supposed to use my blinker. Oh right, but like you can't
Why?
take
Why
it
do
for
we do
granted.
that?
Crazy. And
Why?
this is why I drive with like at least 2 cars in front of me. Like I want to have enough space
Yes.
for 2 cars because I just don't know what people are going to do. They could just cut in front of me. And also people tailgate like no other.
Oh, yeah.
Like people are always riding my bumper. And I'm always so scared that this is how I'm going to get into an accident. Like somehow I have not. But
It's a sign. I think you're going too slow, bro. It's not them. I think it's you.
No, I don't think it's me.
I think it's you.
I'm going at least the speed limit or higher. I now have a better car, you guys. I do. But it's like, I feel like I'm always getting tailgated. Why is that?
Why don't we use our blinkers? And here's my story for this. So my wife is the safest driver I know. Like she is so careful. And even she won't use her blinkers. I get upset at her. Like when she's driving, I'm like, hey, use your blinker, please. She's like, why? What's the point? Nobody else does. And I'm like, but we can be the difference. We can be the change that we want to see in the world. I use my blinkers all the time. And that's
I
a
use
pet
my
peeve
blinkers. I do.
of mine.
I feel
is,
like
blinkers.
based on this conversation, I might be one of the safer drivers.
Yeah, I think you're definitely the most safe driver. I think, Laura, you're in the middle. You have your moments.
Yeah, and you're just going 80.
I'm just going
Yeah,
80, but I'm playing it safe. I'm not like tailgating. I'm not getting aggressive, but I'm going fast. I'll be honest. I go fast. I go fast.
We'll have to ride with Raheel and make a judgment call.
Yeah, please.
I don't know. I think if you're going 80, like it negates all the other good things that you're doing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. But I'm going 80 and focused. I'm not going 80 and on my phone, you know? So
Which some people do.
some people do. Yeah, it's so dangerous. Like you're putting other people at risk. So yeah, definitely like that frustrates me when people do that. Okay, now that we've driven and we're off the roads, another hassle of living in Houston is parking.
Yeah.
What are some of your unwritten rules or even pet peeves when it comes to parking?
Okay, I hate valet parking, but the problem is, guys, I think it might be as you get into your 30s, you just get lazier and you're like, I don't want to search for street parking. And so, you know what? I'm going to pay for the valet.
Okay.
Now. But I hate paying for it.
What's your
I
max?
feel like I'm a sellout.
What's your max?
It's like usually $20
Yeah.
flat.
No, but like because I've seen 5, 10,
Yeah, I would
30.
say not going over 20 or 25.
Oh wow, 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
My
wanna-
cutoff is 10.
Yeah.
My cutoff is like 10.
I think
I'm
20
right
is
there.
like,
Even I'm annoyed paying 20, but
Yeah.
also it's like sometimes there's no parking and I'm searching and I have to park.
How do you feel about valet parking, Laura?
I don't really like it unless I'm on a date. And then I do like it. Like if it's like kind of like a fancy night out, but if I'm just like running, I mean, usually like errands, you're not valeting, but most of the time it annoys me because I just feel like it's another hassle. Like I just want to pull up, I just want to park.
Yeah.
But my other pet peeve, I do feel like Houston like didn't used to have as many valets and now it's like all over the place. I feel like it's part of this like Californianization of Houston and Texas. Like, I feel like I said, I used to live in LA and I feel like in LA, it's like valet all over the place. And I feel like with more people from California, like we've gotten more valet or maybe we just have more development and there's less parking. But my other pet peeve for parking is if you do find street parking, it's like you have to download an app.
Yes.
And like you have to pay for the
yes.
parking on an app. And it's like, can we just have one app? But it's like I go to the Arboretum, there's one app. I go downtown to
Yes,
Discovery
yes.
Green,
Yes.
there's another app. I feel like I'm always having to download an app. And of course, like I'm out and about. Somehow my battery on my phone is always low. And I'm like, why do I have to spend 5 minutes doing an app, blah, blah, blah. It's just so annoying. It's like one more thing I have to do.
Yeah, paid parking has become just part of our lives now, unfortunately. And that is the fastest way for me to not come to your business. Like I'm spoiled by free parking. It's a thing that is so Houston that there's too much parking at times, right? And we're like, I need free parking. I'm used to it. If there's gonna be paid parking, I'm probably not coming. I'm like, I'm good. I'm out. But at the same time, with valet parking, this is where, don't make fun of me, but if there's garage parking or valet parking, I'm going valet parking because I have a deathly fear of parking garages. I'm not even joking.
Why?
This isn't like,
Did
I don't
something
know.
happen one time?
No, I don't know why I cannot park in garages.
Do you just feel claustrophobic in the garages?
No, I'm not claustrophobic at all.
Oh.
Like I can be in an MRI machine and I'm totally cool, but you get me in a garage,
Like,
that's it. Like I start like getting nervous. I start breathing a little bit faster. Yeah. And I always try to park if I have to in a garage right by an exit. So I can just quickly get out of the garage. I don't know why.
Oh, no.
Nothing happened. Like there's no traumatic experience or anything. It's just one of those things. You know, like how some people are just scared of snakes and they'll faint almost?
Yeah.
That's me in a garage.
That's so
I get
interesting.
terrified.
I want to Google this when we finish
I think
recording.
I looked it up. I'm the only one. It's not. It's not a clinical diagnosis by any means, but that is it. Yeah.
Well, besides the fear, I mean, I can see like valet is probably quicker than a parking garage because recently we went downtown to see a show and we had to park in the garage. And granted, we were in one of the lower levels, but then like it was basically a parking lot in the garage. It took 45 minutes to get out.
It takes forever.
Like,
I'm like notorious for parking my car in a garage and not realizing where it is.
Like I'm the person.
You'll lose it.
I'm the person that's like you know,
And then
like oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the word.
clicking
Yeah,
the-
clicking my car horn and like going from first
Yes.
floor, second floor, third floor. Where is my car? I don't know. I usually have to
I
take a
feel you.
photo before
Yeah.
I leave because I never remember.
I always text myself what floor I'm on, just in case. You never know, right?
some really good hacks.
Yeah.
This is why I don't use parking garage because I just know I'm gonna get
There you
lost.
go.
Yeah.
You and I can find street parking and
Yes.
feel good about it.
Right.
Okay, that was a lot of fun. And I feel like we've laid out some very important unwritten rules. So hopefully our listeners and those who you share this episode with listeners will start following some of these.
I mean, for the people who are slower drivers like me, I hope you have listened. Like, I hope you maybe go up the speed limit a little bit.
Go 5 over.
bit,
Just
a little
5.
bit.
Yeah,
A
give
little
yourself
bit.
a little boost there.
But not 80 like Raheel, you guys. Not 80.
We'll balance each other out.
Not 80. And and like, let's all just kind of practice with that turn signal. Left.
Yes, blinkers
right.
on. Blinkers
on.
please.
Yeah.
Laura, thank you so much. Brooke, thank you as well.
Yes, thank you.
Beep, beep.
That was executive producer Laura Isensee with Hey Houston newsletter editor Brooke Lewis. And this conversation was taped at ESPN Houston, so a big shout out to them. Now, I know you have 3 friends who constantly break some of these unwritten rules of the road, so please share this episode with them. If you enjoyed this conversation, drop us a rating and review wherever you listen to podcasts, and be sure to give us 5 stars. And also subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks. And don't go anywhere. In just a second, we've got a segment sponsored by Stages Houston. Executive producer Laura Isensee is chatting with Denise Fennell, who is bringing her new one-woman show to Stages.
Hey, I'm Laura Isensee, executive producer of CityCast Houston, here with Denise Fennell, actress and co-writer of the latest production at Stages Houston. Denise, thanks so much for being here, and I'm so excited to learn about this new production. What was the inspiration behind creating Lessons Learned?
Thank you so much, Laura, for having me. I always appreciate feeling so welcomed into the Houston community. Lessons Learned was totally inspired by my Houston audiences here at Stages, and it's sort of a love letter and somewhat of a letter of apology to my parents and all the people who helped to raise me. And I think what is most exciting for me for this particular project is it's co-written with my husband, Rick Pasqualone. And this will be the first time, Laura, that I'm actually playing myself on stage. So I'm really looking forward to finally getting to know my Houston audiences as Denise.
Wow. And would you say that Lessons Learned is for your Houston audience, or who do you think it'll resonate with?
I think this particular show is going to resonate with all generations. You know, lessons learned, as we've discovered through the course of my life, and I think so many other people, when we talk about this show, is as we go through life, we're accumulating all of these lessons, and some we learn the hard way, some we learn the easy way, and some we do not apply until it's time. And there's a lot of humor in all of it. The way we got hurt on the playgrounds, or some of the things that our parents said to us that now we're saying to our kids. It's really spectacular how it all repeats itself. And I think what's super cool about this one, and I don't want to give it all away.
Yeah.
But many years ago when I was here in town, this particular piece was inspired by an audience member. And later on in the play, I'll actually touch upon that. And I think what's really fun about the types of performances that I do is I involve my audience, and there definitely is scripted material, but I also keep it pretty loose so that the show can kind of go where it needs to go, and we can story tell with each other. So I'm looking for the audiences to share some of the lessons that they've learned in their lifetime with me also.
I was actually going to ask you about that because so many of us here in Houston, we've seen you at stages in Sister, and they know you for your sharp, witty interactions with the audience. Can you tell me more about that interaction you have in the audience with this one? Would you go so far as to say it's improv?
Whenever you involve the audience, there's this element of unpredictability, unknown, because I'm not quite sure what they're going to say. I can't ever know that. So I really have to just kind of be on my toes. And once I throw it out to the audience, just be willing to go with them wherever they're going to take me. And I think that's what makes it so much fun with this type of theater is it's such a risk. And I love that. They call me like a high wire act because I just am constantly throwing myself out there. And Houston has been such an incredible community for that because the audience is calm and they're willing to play and willing to have fun.
What is one of your favorite moments from the show?
Well, for me, the entrance of this play is probably the highlight for me. Again, I don't want to give too much away because the audiences do know me as Sister in the Late Night Catechism series, where I'm fully covered in a traditional nun's habit. I will say this, I'm wearing leather pants.
Okay.
So, and the entrance is really quite something. And I'll be drinking this time. I'll be drinking a little red wine with my audience. So it's very, again, conversational. It's a hybrid of storytelling and stand-up and interaction and really something new. We've kind of tried to incorporate all the things that I love about all the shows that I've performed in the past and really try to make this piece specific to that.
And tell us again, when can listeners catch you at Stages Houston for this new production?
So we're opening on May 2nd. We're in rehearsals right now, and this is a very short run. We're going from May 2nd to May 11th, and tickets are selling out really fast.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thanks again for joining us, Denise. Again, check out stageshouston.com to learn more. And Denise will also be returning to Stages' upcoming season in The Bride and Late Night Catechism Las Vegas. We'll have that link for you in our show notes as well, so you're just a click away. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Laura. That will do it for today. I'm Raheel Ramzanali. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new.